Hi, I'm Mari Carmel.
And I'm Michaela Ramsey.
Welcome to your Kings Cast.
The Marching Kings are making a lot of noise other than the music coming out of their instruments. Let's hear more about it, Maury.
The Marching Kings traveled to Greenwood Community High School this last weekend for their second competition of the season. This year, the show is called Vincent and portrays a show about Vincent van Gogh's A Starry Night. So far, the Kings have performed 3 of the 4 parts and also plan to add a tag at the end of the show. This week, the Kings will add on Part 4 and begin to fix parts in 1, 2, and 3. Drum majors Luke Hammond and Lily Schaefer led the Kings to a second place with a score of 64.5. The Kings had a great performance and came out swinging with a new attitude and swagger, different than any other year we've had before. The Kings have a new sense of confidence and are willing to push until they are really the last band standing. In the past, the loss to the #1 band would have discouraged the band this week. However, this year our band is even more motivated to improve and perform better this Saturday at the next competition. This weekend, the Kings will perform at Zionsville Community High School. Check out the video on YouTube or the LCMK Facebook page from Greenwood this last weekend. Back to you, Michaela.
Exciting to hear that the band is doing great this year.
Friday mornings are somewhat of an LCK ritual for most athletes at Cass. Let's hear more about it from Michaela Thompson.
Hey. Thanks for that great introduction, Michaela and Mari. I'm going to tell you what Fridays mornings here at Lewis Cass consist of. During football season, Walton Christian is nice enough to let us host FCA at their church. FCA stands for Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Here at Lewis Cass, we have several teams, such as the football team, girls cross country, boys cross country, and the cheerleaders that attend this every Friday morning. For FCA to happen, though, we have several parents that go behind the scenes to get up early to make breakfast for all these athletes. We can't thank those parents enough. After we scarf down our tasty breakfast, we get the chance to listen to a guest speaker. These guest speakers are usually someone that the students are quite familiar with. Just a few weeks ago, we had our very own teacher, Mrs. Rush, give the presentation. This is a great opportunity for all of us to come together and start the day off right. But it doesn't end there. Once we get back to the school, the huddle of the football players begins. You see this on about every girl's Snapchat story, but it's pretty exciting. That's what Friday mornings at Lewis Cass consist of. Back to Michaela and Mari.
Thanks, Michaela, for all the Friday morning coverage.
Among the many things happening in our world right now, North Korea conflict is one of the biggest. Luke Hammond has the story.
Thank you, Mari and Michaela. I'm Luke Hammond, covering the current issues with North Korea. Since the Korean War in 1950, the relationship between North Korea has done nothing but escalate in a hostile manner. The newest issue we have with North Korea is the level of nuclear weapon tests. Joshua Berlinger, a digital producer at CNN, claims the country has fired 21 missiles during 14 tests since February. This number has increased since the comment was made this summer. The Donald Trump administration has taken a very acerbic role against these tests, showing the world that what is happening is not okay by any laws or standards. North Korea launched another missile going over Japan on the 15th, giving the entire world a huge scare. Herbert Raymond McMaster, the National Security Advisor for the United States, gave this claim. First of all, there is a consensus among all key nations that denuclearization among the peninsula is the main objective. Second, this is not an issue between the United States and North Korea. This is an issue between the world and North Korea. Thirdly, there is a lot we can do together. In most recent news on the nuclear issues around the world, Donald Trump just announced this weekend that Iran is working with North Korea and they have launched another missile capable of reaching Israel. That is the latest world news. Now back to Mari and Michaela.
The North Korean issue is constantly developing, and I'm really curious to see what happens next.
Let's hope Donald Trump can work something out with Kim Jong-un quickly to avoid any serious conflict.
And after all the sad, let's lighten up the mood with some King sports with Hayden and Hannah.
Whoa!
Didn't see you there.
I'm Hannah Young.
And I'm Hayden Best.
And
This is sports.
Now to recap the highlights of the week in sports, off to Mac with football.
Thank you, Hannah and Hayden. The Kings take on the Bulldogs tonight. The Kings are 3-3 on the season, which means this will either send them into a winning record or a losing record. We have both played Shenandoah. That's our only common opponent. The Kings beat Shenandoah 20-12, and LaPel lost to Shenandoah 53-6. Shenandoah runs a very similar offense that Hamilton Heights ran, so we'll have basically the same game plan to run against them, and hopefully the score will be the same too. Catch the Kings tonight. Make sure you come to the game. It'll be at 7:15 at Lapel. Now we're going to go to Drew with tennis.
I got to get my tennis racket. Here's a pretty good one, the Wilson. I get some balls for the match. Got a brand new can. But last night, Lewis Cass was close to upsetting Logansport for the first time in many years. They ended up losing 1-4, but 3 of the 5 matches went into tiebreakers. Dixon Collins, Javon Roscoe, and Chase Kitchell and Noah Miller were very close to winning their matches. The only ones to win were Drew Cornell and Josh Hanlon, and they will play next week for an individual sectional at Kokomo versus a team to be announced probably around Monday.
The girls and boys cross-country team are both headed off to Benton Central this weekend for the Hoosier Conference. The ladies will face stiff competition with their side of the conference being loaded, and the boys team will have their hands full with top 10 ranked West Lafayette. This will be the last meet for the JV boys and girls runners. This will also be the last regular season meet for both teams before the Logan Sports Sectional next weekend. Now off to Brandon with volleyball.
Whoa, Hayden, be careful next time. It's almost that time again. The volleyball conference is tomorrow. We play at Western against Western at 9 a.m. This will be the last conference tournament for our 4 seniors, and Monday is their senior night against Wabash at 7 p.m. We interviewed each senior about their volleyball experiences. First is Sophie Galloway, then Maddie Hoff, then Holly Widener, and last but not least, Delaney Dieter.
Thanks, Brandon. I'm Case Kitchell, and I'll be asking the volleyball seniors a few questions. To my right side, we have the right side hitter, Sophie Galloway. So Sophie, what's your favorite memory of volleyball?
My favorite memory would have to be all of the tournaments and camps where we just, as a team, got to hang out and play games together and really get to know each other. It was always fun.
That would have been fun. What advice do you have for players to come?
I would tell any volleyball player or in the future or that is currently playing to just go hard as you can every game and enjoy every moment, because before you know it, it's going to be your senior year and you're only going to have 3 games left, so you don't want to regret anything. So play for yourselves and your seniors.
Touching. So Maddie, what's your favorite experience as a Lewis Cass volleyball player?
I think my favorite experience is probably seeing how close I can become with my teammates. They're like a family to me.
Okay. What advice would you give to future players?
You're going to make mistakes on the court during the game and during practice, but don't let that define who you are as a player. I think you should learn to bond with your team, because most likely you're going to stick with them all 4 years of high school.
That's good advice.
Thanks.
Next up, we have Holly Widener, the outside hitter for Lewis Cass. So Holly, how long have you been playing volleyball?
I've been playing volleyball since 7th grade, so 6 years.
It's a pretty long time. What words of wisdom do you have for the next generation of players?
Well, for future volleyball players, I'll tell them that to work hard and give everything in practice and in the games, do the little things right, and big things will happen. And if you're playing JV for the first couple years, don't worry, varsity will come. Just keep playing hard.
All right, well, good luck in conference.
Thank you.
Last but not least, we have Delaney Dieter, the libero for Cass. So Delaney, how long have you been playing volleyball?
I've been playing volleyball for 6 years.
Solid. What advice would you like to give the next volleyball players?
Play every game like it's your last, because one day it will be.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Back to you, Martin. Michaela.
It sounds like the Kings are really working hard and improving all their skills this year in their sports.
We have one girl who really stood out in golf this season.
Let's go to Mason Young for the Athlete of the Week.
Whoa, where did this golf club come from?
I think it's mine.
Hi, I'm Mason Young. This is our Athlete of the Week, Olivia Sires. I have a series of questions for Olivia. All right, Olivia, when did you first start playing golf?
I first started playing golf in junior high, but I wasn't very good, so my first official year was freshman year.
Okay. What is your favorite thing about golf?
My favorite thing about golf is that I get time to myself after school, so that's pretty nice.
Okay. Well, is golf as boring as it seems?
Golf is pretty boring when you're by yourself for 18 holes, but for 9 it's fine and you get used to it, I guess.
Okay, last question here. Would you consider yourself the Tiger Woods of Lewis Cass High School?
Heck yeah. No, I think that the whole team is pretty PGA worthy.
Back to you.
Congrats, Olivia, on an amazing golf season.
With the end of that segment, we have reached the end of our broadcast as well.
I'm Michaela Ramsey.
I'm Mara Carmel.
Thanks for tuning in to the Kings Cast.